Hello, everyone. This is the final part to my 8-part series regarding my diet. I hope you've enjoyed it and let me know if you have in the comments. So, I have averaged out, I have totaled for the week and then averaged out over the 7-day period the total calories, grams of fat, carbohydrates, and protein per day. So, let's go through them. Total calories per day on average is 4,410. The average grams of fat was 242, average grams of carbohydrates 287, average grams of protein 256, and average fruit and veg per day is 5.85 units, I guess you could call them. Now, this week has been very informative for me. It's taught me a lot about my own diet and how much food I actually eat. So I'm glad that I did it, but like I mentioned earlier on in the series, I'm not going to I'm not going to carry on counting my macros. Sorry, I think I eat healthy food for the most part. Obviously, I had some Marylands and some Bakewell tarts. I think those were my two treats this week, but for the most part, we're eating a healthy diet. Like a lot of those carbohydrates are derived from fruit as well, actually. So yeah, we love our fruit, of course. Funnily enough, the weekend counts were a lot lower than the weekday counts. I'm not sure why that is. Maybe utilizing my brain less because I'm not in the office, so burning less calories. I don't know. But yeah, it is interesting. Like I say, if you haven't counted your macros, just do it for a short period of time, and I'm sure you'll learn a lot about what you're putting in your body. I would like to touch on the fact that I did previously do a bulk as well. I was eating about 7,000 calories a day. I think 6 to 7,000 calories a day for a 4-month period, and it was very intense. I wouldn't recommend eating that much. I think people in the army eat about that. So you basically, unless you're working out all day, every day, I think it's probably rather unhealthy. But I was on the Serious Mass protein powder. I was on chicken, broccoli, and rice. And I put on 16 kilograms in 4 months. So I achieved the intended result. Of course, I've lost some of that weight now. I got up to about 86, 87 kilograms, something like that, at my, I wouldn't say peak level of performance because I must admit I was a bit of a slob. I would come back, have dinner, and then have one of those Serious Mass shakes, which has about 1,500 calories in it. And I'd be paralyzed for about half an hour. Like, it was kind of horrible. You're just like overeating and almost force feeding yourself at that point. And it fucked up my skin. I was very spotty for a while. And, we don't like that, do we? So I wouldn't recommend that. However, I am currently on the creatine, which I would highly recommend. It is an amazing supplement and it basically just holds the water in your muscles for a little bit longer. So great for recovery, and you look a bit bigger as well. So that's always nice, isn't it? Oh yeah, just a quick side note. I am on social media now as well. For those of you that haven't seen the Instagram and the TikTok, please do go check it out. I'm actually filming some of my videos in like portrait mode or whatever and putting them on the Instagram now instead of the YouTube. So go and check some of them out. Anyway, back to the diet video. So I am currently shopping at Waitrose, which makes everything quite a lot more expensive. But I used to shop at Lidl, and if you're looking to cut costs, Lidl is the place to go. Lidl, Aldi, those supermarkets, incredibly cheap. You get a kilogram of chicken thighs for like fucking £2.80, something ridiculous like that. And I used to get like the 10 kilogram bags of basmati rice as well. Brilliant. They're like 15 quid, 15 quid a pop. So I must admit, part of the reason that I started shopping at Waitrose rather than Lidl is because of the difference in quality. Now, of course, you're paying a little bit more, but the difference in quality is substantial. I think the fruit at Lidl is pretty vile, and the fruit at Waitrose is much better. Obviously, preferably, I would like to get fruit from a market, which I usually do when I'm at the office, but that's not always an option, is it? Now, I would estimate that I'm spending about 80 to 90 pounds on food per week. I didn't total each day, and I should have done. I'm sorry, I'll do that next time. But do let me know if you would like to see a video shopping and eating on a diet, because that is something that I got quite used to. I was shopping at Lidl for about a year and a half, maybe 2 years, so I know my way around the shop, so to speak. Okay, just a couple of points on my diet. It's not for vegetarians, obviously, and it's not for people trying to lose weight either. I think if you're not being incredibly active and you're eating 4,000 calories a day, 4,500 calories a day, you're seriously going to struggle with weight and fat. So, just a little side note. I also have quite an indulgent diet, I think is how I would describe it. So, as you can see, I have the sweet treats here and there, and I also eat a lot of fruit, a lot of sugar every day. Don't get me wrong, fructose, so it's good sugar, but it's still very sugary diet, quite high in fat, which I also think is quite good. And I treat myself to some nice meat here and there, like some venison or some veal, and like you saw on the weekend. But like I say, it's quite an indulgent diet, certainly not for everyone. So do beware that I have a very fast metabolism as well. So, with my diet, there is a certain level of monotony. For instance, I have the eggs and avocado basically every morning, and a bit more chicken and beef than the other meats, just for the sole reason that they're a little bit cheaper. Um, but variation is a non negotiable. I think having a nice, varied, balanced diet is incredibly important, and it makes it interesting, and it's also healthy. People are always saying the more colours you can get in your diet, the better. And I agree with that. I think, you know, the fruit and veg, particularly, I try and vary as much as possible. This week we had some kiwi, some mangoes, some dragon fruits, cavallonero, fucking broccoli, do you know what I mean? So, I think when I went through my bulking phase, like I was saying earlier on with the chicken, broccoli, rice, that for like 4 months every day, not only is it incredibly fucking boring, but I don't know if it's that good for you. I think if you can afford to spend a little bit extra on food and vary your diet a little bit more, why not? It's very important what you put into your body, and it's almost just as important as the exercise itself, I think. Now, I recently read this book called Ikigai, and it's by a Japanese fella and an American fella, I think. And they go around to lots of different areas on the planet where people live to a very old age. So they got centenarians and super centenarians, people that live to over 110 years old. And they stress, all of them, how important it is diet and what you're putting into your body. And a lot of them recommend eating until you are 80% full. Now, this is not something that I abide by, I must admit. I indulge in eating till I am 100% full because, well, it's enjoyable. But I would highly recommend that book. Ikigai is like the Japanese word for your passion and your. How do they describe it? It's like your purpose in life, basically, like what you were put on this planet to do. And no, really good book. And yeah, they speak, well, some of the super centenarians, people that live till over 110, speak about their diet quite a lot because obviously it's massively important. They go to places like Okinawa, in the southernmost prefecture of Japan, and speak to people there, and they just talk about being mobile and staying active throughout the day, getting up at 5 in the morning, doing some gardening, having some fish, some eggs, some rice. It just kind of highlights how crucial your diet is. So let's make it fucking as best we can. Now, I think I mentioned in a recent video full transparency, and what I mean by that is that I want to be fully transparent with you guys. So I want to, show you everything. when it comes to exercise, diet, meal prep, all of that stuff. And just a couple of things, like I wasn't counting the macros in sauces or the butter for the first few days. I only realised halfway through the week, sorry, how fucking calorific butter is. It's insane. I also wasn't counting the macros for the milk that I have in my coffee. I probably go through about 1 pint of milk a week. So, you know what I mean? Really not that much. Okay, thank you for watching. Let me know if you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you fucking hated it. Leave a comment down below, and I will see you next time. Until then.